Okay, greetings, citizens. Justiguy has arrived. I think everything should be working now, and I got a fancy new this just for the occasion. And the occasion is that the highly anticipated, at least by me, sequel to the you thought it was a reboot, but it wasn't a reboot. New Higurashi anime series is starting in 2 days, and I'm hype as fuck for it. So first of all, I was actually going to start this about 20 minutes ago, but I've literally been spending 20 minutes on this title screen trying to screwing with the audio to make it so the game is. I don't know. If anyone shows up, could just let me know how things sound. Because for this especially, you can't get the audio wrong. It's important stuff. Anyway, I'm not gonna be doing any voices or anything. We're just gonna just be. I mean, I don't want to say chill. I mean, you can see all this stuff. Well, I don't know if we're actually going to get to any of this, any of the need for this before we stop, because I'm just probably just going to go up until it starts airing. But who knows? Maybe I'll. Anyway, let's just start. Ooh, Tatarigoroshi, the shortest scenario. Man, curse, or coincidence? How are the conjectures inside you solidified? I look forward to whether those conjectures will waver or become a cornerstone in this scenario. The difficulty is the worst. You will probably not even be able to make conjectures. Oh fuck, I hate that. Right in my ears. The snake in the well was happy, for it did not care what was outside the well. The snake in the well was happy, for it had naught to do with what happened outside the well. And you were happy too, for you did not know what happened outside the well. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actually. Okay, we're fading away. AD 1983. The early summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. It was a very humid day. Oh, I hate that this stuff on the side is all gross. Do I need my mouse or can I like hit? Okay, it's not spacebar. Z. Not Z. It's enter. Okay, it's enter. Okay, we're gonna just go keyboard only. Keyboard only run on this. I, not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot but swelteringly so. Enter, are you not working? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, okay, my mouse needs to be over. That's weird. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. There were crooked houses and apartments lining the narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the sides of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. The lone motorcycle, which couldn't be called neat, even as flattery, pulled up to a two-story apartment complex and stood there, stopped there. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. When the housewife hanging the laundry noticed him, she called out, "Well, hello there." Sorry, I said I wasn't going to do voices. "Well, hello there. It's quite hot today again, isn't it?" "Oh, you got that right. I feel like I'm going to boil out here." "Oh, right, landlord. I didn't think, I didn't think, I can't say that without doing a voice. All right, I didn't think that that would be the first thing you said. Ah, sorry. The fluorescent lights, right? Completely forgot." "No, not that. Don't you smell it? There's a terrible smell about. I've been smelling it since this morning. Hey, what's this? It reeks. Did the sewers get backed up again? Do something about it, landlord." I've had to keep my nose plugged all day long. Still look plenty lovely plugging your nose, my dear. Okay, I'm doing voices, I guess. There was an unhygienic drainage canal running behind the apartment. The lattice? I should know this. The thing from which it flowed was stuffed with branches and fallen leaves, and when filth got caught up in them, it created an awful stench in the summertime. Could you tell the municipal office about it? The drain will end up buried at this rate. Well, yikes! It's completely blocked. It'll start back up if you poke it with a stick. The man crossed the fence over the drainage channel and picked up a filthy drying pole sitting nearby. He must have planned to stick it into the drain and clear it out. Ah, wait, landlord, stop that! You mix it all strange. If you do that, it'll smell terrible. It smells if it's clogged. It smells if it's mixed. Which should I choose? He shoved the drying pole into the filth in the lattice. Of course, it did nothing to help the accumulation of waste. Oh, it's a dead cat. This is the health center's job. Cats and dogs smell awful when they die. A bamboo pole's not gonna do much good. This is kind of morbid already. Garbage bags, old clothes, they throw all kinds of stuff in there. And is that a duck I see? Well, of course it stinks. The nerve of some people. The drainage channel was already unsanitary. What was a little more garbage at this point? The stream of such impudent people was never ending. Now this channel had turned into a garbage dump. When he poked the pile of old clothes floating in the sewage, a black cloud of smoke floated out in the water. The two of them grimaced at the terribly bizarre and repulsive sight. Ah, you've got maggots, eh? Someone must have thrown kitchen waste in. What? Landlord, what's that? What? Just more garbage. Landlord, that's... Eh. 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 Oh, hello. Good work today. Ah, what a terrible stench! Hey, someone cover this thing with a tarp. It's in plain sight of the 2-floor houses. Identity of deceased. Identity of the... Sorry, trying to do walkie-talkie. Bad idea. Identity of the deceased, unknown. Sex, female. Age, estimated to be late 20s or early 30s. Time of death, about 2 or 3 days ago. She was probably abandoned after death. Naked, too? Figuring out who she is will be rough. Contact the community division and ask if anyone's gone missing. They probably weighed her down so she'd sink. Then the weights came off and she floated to the top. But why in a drainage sewer of all things? Would have been better under an overpass or in the mountains, you know? And it would have been outside our jurisdiction, right? But it looks like they never wanted to hide the corpse at all. Did they do it so she would be found? As a warning or something? The slice in her stomach definitely wasn't from a fish eating her. She was cut open, and her insides were dragged out. They really made a show out of killing her. Doesn't the Chinese mafia do these sorts of traditional punishments? Ask Shige-san in Section 4 if he's had any trouble with the Yakuza. I just added words for some reason, I apologize. On it, sir! Still, what a terrible way to go. Hey, donor innards. I was wrong about how soon we were going to get into shit. Hey, donor innards poking out like that, like the sort of salad soba you can get in Kyoto. Maybe if you... Dude! The fuck? Maybe if you stuck chopsticks in, noodles would pop out. See? Here we go. Ugh! Please, give me a break! Her intestines were pulled out and her ears and nose cut off. That's definitely not how I want to go. Her fingers are in a bad state, too. There are long nails stuck in all of them on both hands. What kind of torture was this, anyway? And we're in. And we're in. Most relaxing time during a school day? Lunch, for sure. Everyone brought their desks side by side like always, and we all ate together. Oh, and we're doing the old sprites, by the way. Fuck the new ones. You have to use these. Oh my. No, I'm not gonna. Oh my, Mion-san. If I may say, your lunch looks quite appetizing today. There are so many different things. It's wonderful. Satoko and Rika-chan looked at Mion's lunch, shouting gladly. Let's have a look. Whoa! I just packed in some leftovers from last night. All the elders were having a drinking party at my house yesterday. I managed to nab some of what they didn't eat. So that's why they all look like snacks you can have it with sake. They're but leftovers. Mere scraps of food, but when arranged in a bento box so cleanly, they look impressive. It looks like part of a full-course meal at a high-class restaurant. People seem to decide if they like things mainly based on the first impression. So I thought maybe the taste of a bento would be proportional to how pretty it was when you opened it. You may seem unrefined, Mion-san, but you are positively splendid at arranging food like this. Her room is nice and tidy, too. Nichan is a lot more organized and polite than everyone thinks. It's all the same once it's in your stomach. I'd have thought Mion would say something like that, but to think she had this kind of taste. Harumph. Well, I can't judge a book by its cover. Mion was careful in everything she did. She never misstepped, faltered, or messed up. I see. She is our club president, after all. Yours is nothing to scoff at either, Reina. Your crab kamaboko flower is very pretty. Put other sprites up if you're gonna not tell me who's talking. I mean, I love how you write, but also, give me some more visuals, please. You know, Reina, your lunch always has, like, an art to it. Like it has rabbit-shaped apple slices and carrot flowers and stuff. Reina's bento wasn't all about taste. It was like, She always puts her heart into it or something. Not literally like that woman we were just talking about who was also being compared to food, but just, you know, metaphorically speaking. It wasn't just good. God damn it! This is like this on purpose, isn't it? Made your insides all nice and warm. But not literally, like we were just talking about. Although I guess they were cold by that point. I'm gonna stop now. Thanks! It's not quite as good as Nichan's, but I wanted to make it really cute. Oh, for... Arboris. I don't know if you are a person or a bot or what, but I'm good. I'm good not being famous, and I'm certainly not gonna buy followers or whatever, so no thank you. Anyway, back to reading. I wanted to make it really cute. Cooking isn't about skill, it's about love. In that sense, I don't even come up to your feet. Love, huh? Yeah. Just from looking at her bento, I can definitely feel that Reina put her heart and soul into making it. That's what her bento was like. The taste isn't all that counts for a bento. How it looks also matters. I suppose we must learn from this too. Huh. So, let's see Satoko and Rika-chan's up-and-coming bento. Whoa! Ta-da! yesterday our neighbors shared some meat with us, so we ended up grilling it for our bento. These ones, too! They had such an impact! They were bursting at the seams with grilled meat! At a glance, it was too impactful for a girl's bento, but when you thought about eating it with all your friends, it brought more than enough color to the table. Wow. At first, it looks like the kind of crude bento that a jock would eat, but there's so many different things in here. Like boiled spinach and soy sauce and stewed hijiki. Rika-chan, you're really good at this kind of unaffected cooking, huh? Yep, I think Rika-chan will make a great wife when she grows up. I have a tight hold on my future husband. A husband for Rika-chan, huh? At first, that sounded appealing. But then the little blonde girl shot me in the head and I died. Did. But I felt like a married life with her would be anything but normal. But really, everyone was amazing. They were all so young. Dude, they're like... Don't act talk. No. Anyway. They were all so young, and yet they're all so capable of cooking for themselves. I would sort of cook whenever I went camping with my family, but making lunch every day was definitely a level I couldn't reach. I got dyslexic on that one. I could only really cook in my spare time. When I thought about it like that, it really made everyone stand out more. Frankly, I respected them. Huh? I feel like maybe this doesn't only apply to other people. Come to think of it, this morning when I was eating breakfast half asleep, my mom was saying something really important. With hysteric groan, I suddenly stood up, startling everyone at once. What's wrong? Wrong! Don't make us choke if you shout like that so suddenly, you know? There's rice coming out of your nose, Satoko. I'd forgotten. All this stuff about cooking for yourself. It applied to me, too! Oh my god, do we need this music for this? Geichi, your mom and dad need to go to Tokyo again for business. Dude, wait, hold on, your dad's an artist. What the hell does his mom do again? Whatever. Yeah? Uh-oh, I'm gonna really yawn now. Uh-oh. Sleepy. Oh, there we go. Your dad's mentor fell ill right before an event he was taking part in. It's a very important event, and they need someone to fill in. Well, Dad does what he has to do for his job. So, your dad and I, you see, we need to go to Tokyo as fast as we can to help with the event. Might have to stay there for a few days, depending on what happens. That sounds unfair. While we're gone, we won't be here, so you'll need to make your own meals yourself. Are you okay with that, Keiichi? I'll be fine. You can do anything when you're desperate. Is that so? That's a relief. You can at least cook rice, right? You can make miso soup as well. Then you just buy some side dishes and you'll have a meal. Meal? Yeah, I can cook rice with my camping kit. I've never used a rice cooker before. I've only ever made instant miso soup that you make in a pot of boiling water, too. Well, I'll think of something. Nom nom nom. If you can cook for yourself, then you don't need much money, do you? No eating out, it's too expensive. You're at the age where you should learn about cooking and personal finances now, after all. Yep, sure, yep. I'll get by. No, I won't! What was I thinking? I was half asleep and I made such a crazy, empty promises. Just like manga characters always do at times like these, I bent over backwards and scratched furiously at my head. Scratch, 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 scratch! H-kun, your parents sure have it rough. Anyway, you need to keep things in order while they're gone. Anyway, food! My parents aren't here. I have to make it all myself, you know? This is a huge emergency! Not simply give up and cook for yourself. Reichi-san, why did you not make a fabulous curry dish for the curry party previously? Listen here. My mom taught me how to cook that curry when we camped, and it's the best I can do. I can't eat curry 3 meals a day. Are you crazy? I mean, it's just junk food in the first place. There's no nutritional balance whatsoever, and it's just completely stupid. Shh. Let's have them put their hands over my mouth. A known curry maid suddenly poked her head in. Did I just hear somebody bad-mouthing curry? No. We didn't say anything. Everyone's faces went totally white, and they all shook their heads in denial. Her eyes rolled over the classroom. Her glare wasn't just a teacher's ordinary stare. Was it you? Or was it you? Perhaps it was you. Or you. Maybe you. Is that so? Must have been the wind. Chie-sensei gave one more look around the classroom, then closed the door and went back to the teacher's lounge. I may have been shouting, but for her to hear it from all the way across the hall in the teacher's lounge, that teacher is terrifying. Hey, John. You can disparage other foods all you want, but you might want to stay away from curry. At least as long as you live in Hinamizawa. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I said, but still, I can't have curry for every meal. And cup ramen is good because you only eat it once in a while. If you ate it for every meal, you'd be bored of it pretty quickly. So this guy is clearly still living, well, yeah. Rice and miso soup? Good side dish, yeah, that's what a Japanese table should look like. Why can't you just try to cook for yourself? Rice you make yourself is really good. True. This old man thinks it's more pain than good. Experiencing it every once in a while might be nice. That's right. Life is all about experiences, right? But when you cut your fingers or burn yourself, it's so sad. So very sad. With everyone encouraging me like this, I started to feel like maybe I could do it if I tried too. Though approximately one person didn't sound like she was encouraging me. Cooking is a skill I'll have to learn at some point, since I want to live on my own one day. Maybe learning now wouldn't be so bad? I'm pretty uneasy about it, but you're right. If I don't understand how to cook a few things around here, then I won't be in good shape the next time our club does a cooking showdown. You are correct. That clever trick of yours in the last curry contest won't work every time, after all. As if scorning me, Satoko ridicules my comeback from a hopeless situation in a certain do-or-die curry showdown. What are you so relaxed for? You relied entirely on Rika-chan back then, didn't you? What did you cook at that time exactly? You put a bag of salt in Reina's curry, a bag of salt in Mion's rice, and you flipped over my pan. I relapsed into my grudge over the last curry showdown. For now, I calmed my unquellable anger by pinching Satoko's ears. Ow! My attack was because that's what they were doing for club! I may not look like it, but I could do a little bit of cooking. Can you now? Even when you couldn't peel one carrot during the showdown and had to get Rika to do it. Don't be so daft! People get better every day, you know. If you think I'll always be crummy at cooking, then you're quite mistaken. Right, Rika? I have to watch or else I get worried about the potted flame. Sometimes you forget to turn the gas off, too. Everyone burst into laughter. Shouldn't be an issue with cooking. Even I would never do that. I don't want to hear that from someone who eats nothing but cup ramen. But Satoko can cook pretty well for herself, you know? Reina, it's fine. You don't need to force yourself to cover up for her like that. No, she's not trying to cover up for her or anything. It's just that Rika-chan's cooking is by far the best of all of us, so hers doesn't stand out. Satoko has mastered the basics, right? At the very least, she can cook rice and miso soup. Well, she can't quite tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, though. They're both the same anyway, once you boil them. Satoko erupted in anger, making two fists and swinging them above her head. Everyone laughed a lot after that. Ha 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 ha! Wah ha ha ha! Wah ha 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 ha! The others don't matter. I cannot stand being laughed at by you, Keiichi-san. Ha 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 ha! Yes, perhaps I do lag behind everyone else in terms of cooking skill, but at least I'm confident I'd never lose to you, Satoko. Not to you, at least. What was that? You have the gall to say you're confident. That's what's daft here. I might not seem like a good cook, but I take turns with Rika, you know. I could cook just fine for myself, thank you. I see. Good for you, being able to cook. I'll buy some candy for you as a present later. I patted Satoko on the head while I made fun of her. Satoko seemed to know I was making fun of her, too, since her face went bright red very quickly, and steam started to pour out like she was a kettle. Don't believe me, do you? Anyway, I can cook far better than you can, Keiichi-san. I see. Then if you can tell me the difference between cauliflower and broccoli, I'll believe you. Come on, let's hear it. The green one is broccoli. Or, no, the yellow one? Cauliflower is red, blue, green. Come on now. What color is broccoli? It's not red, blue, green like a television. Come on, say it. Satoko can cook just fine without knowing what color broccoli is, right? Good for you! Stupid KK! Oh, it was nothing to cry hysterically about. She's so goddamn cute. I stroked her head as hard as I could. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle! If you're going to act so smug, then you can surely show us something better than Satoko, remarked Mion, giving me a slightly mean smile. Actually, well, I had no confidence at all in my cooking. But the situation carried me along, and I decided to deliver an impressive declaration. Just you wait. Tonight, I will make the best darn meal you've ever seen. I'll even make a little too much and pack it for lunch tomorrow. You'll be so surprised you'll fall over. that sounds like fun. I can't wait for lunchtime tomorrow. Mika-chan patted me on the head. Her words of can't wait sounded so transparent. Reina is excited too! I promise I won't laugh no matter what you make! Alright, so maybe I'll go all out on my bento tomorrow too. Then let's do this. Let's have a bento showdown tomorrow, as a club activity, of course. And we'll throw in a punishment game too. My, what an ingenious idea that is! How is that, Keiichi-san? I'll give you one chance to back down. Sayoko. That is a typo. Manga Gamer, that is a typo in there. Satoko wiped her tears and snarled at me as if this was her chance to turn around the chessboard. That's not what that actually means in this context. Never mind, disregard that. Maybe this is bad? I feel like maybe the conversation is getting pretty out of hand? Oh, if I apologize, now's my chance? But what came out of my Teiichi Mayabara's mouth was a statement so reckless it even frightened me. Yeah, you're on! My bento tomorrow will knock you right out of your shoes. Whoa! Everyone raised their voices in surprise at my bold, confident reply. Ah! Now I've done it! What have I done? I'm so irresponsible! Oh my god, hi Celine! And a party of 3. Hello! Greetings! Didn't see you there. Hi! I'm just, reading some Higurashi. So, Mion-san. How are you doing tonight? What sort of fantastic punishment game will we have to play if we lose? Satoko grinned fearlessly, as if to say that it was already decided I'd be playing said fantastic punishment game. Well, yeah, Keiichi. I'm doing pretty good. I am super ready for the Sotsu to start in 2 days, and that's why we're playing this. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm assuming you were just streaming. How did that go? Let's see. Okay, how about this? Whoever loses tomorrow's bento showdown during lunch break tomorrow has to go up to has to go up to Chie-sensei oh no. She's eating in the teacher's lounge and say bad things about curry. Hell yeah! Chris Redfield has saved the day. Very nice. I know, right? I am super hyped too. Bishan! That's... How terrifying! Everyone went pale and gasped at how truly terrifying the punishment game was. Chie-sensei is such a maniac about curry that she'd risk her life for it. And to go up to her and start saying bad things about curry? What kind of fate would await us? Just trying to imagine it was scary. And as everyone looked blankly amazed at the terrifying punishment game, Mika-chan spoke. Tomorrow's contest will be decided by skill. Reina and Mion and Satoko. Everyone nodded deep agreement. Although Keiichi-san's problem might be his own dinner tonight rather than tomorrow's bento. How disappointing that you can't witness what an amazing dinner I'm going to make tonight. I'll let you have a glimpse of it in my bento tomorrow, so look forward to it. That is quite a lot of grandstanding. You do know what will happen if you come to us with something terrible, right? I just can't wait. How much trouble you'll be in. I feel like there was going to be I just can't wait 4. Anyway, I just can't wait. How much trouble you'll be in with Chie-sensei tomorrow, Satoko! Yes, I can't wait either to see you, Keiichi-san, groveling before her and begging for forgiveness, saying it all with tears streaming down your face. Yes, I can just see it now. What was that? Yank. Ah! Stretch! Both of us, on the verge of tears, pull on each other's cheeks. Stretch! Trying to muster all your desperation by placing yourself in a predicament. Jay-chan, that's so manly! That isn't manly or anything of the sort. It's called being reckless. You can't even cook well. Stretch! That's supposed to be a spoken line. Reina believes in you. I'm looking forward to your wonderful bento. I'm looking forward very much to seeing you tomorrow as well. Their expectant gazes were painful. I was just trying to tease Satoko a little. How did it come to this? Yeah, you better look forward to it. How am I able to say such reckless things? I'm being so unreasonable. What the heck is going to happen to my dinner? And the bento showdown tomorrow? Oh, more importantly, if they make me say bad things to about Curry to Chie-sensei's face, what'll happen to me? The extreme contrast between my outward bravado and my internal screaming continued as the hot and humid June afternoon dragged on. There's the bell. That entire day, up until school was over, the whole time, my meal tonight and bento tomorrow were the only things on my mind. Now that I thought about it, it made Mom seem amazing for planning 3 meals every day of the year. I've complained before about having the same meal in a row once in a while, but now I know how rude that was. Yes! I actually love the old sprites. I adore them. They're just so... I don't know, they're so expressive. They really... I don't know, they're just so... I mean, I know Yuki, she got better, quote-unquote better, you know, as he went on, you know, with, like, Umineko and Higambana, but, even these ones, I feel like they're just so, you know, emotive and expressive, and I love it. Yes, they are cute! Like, oh god, I have, but I don't know where it is, it's in a box somewhere. I have a little, a tiny little thing, it's probably not even, like, it's only probably a couple inches tall, like a little, it's like an Nendroid, but not of, Mion. It's, like, sculpted and, like, just one of, like, an exact rendition of these, sprites. It's really cute. But yeah. God, I got that so long ago, too. Jeez. That takes me back. Anyway, more importantly, what am I gonna do about the punishment game tomorrow? Besides that, what am I gonna eat tonight? H-gun? Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about stuff. About what to make tonight. Or about the bento showdown tomorrow. She hit the mark and I couldn't find anything to say. And my facial expression made obvious the fact that she hit the mark. For tomorrow's showdown, I think that if you do your best to make a bento, you'll be fine. There's nothing superior to a bento you tried really hard to make all by yourself. Tomorrow's showdown is one thing, but what about dinner tonight? I might suddenly get food poisoning. I couldn't make any more bluffs. I exaggeratedly dropped my shoulders and heaved a sigh from the bottom of my gut. And laughed in a shrill way when she saw me do that. H-gun, you don't have any confidence in your cooking at all, do you? So, I've been found out. Ugh. If it looks like you can't do it no matter how hard you try, you can always give Rina a call. Really? But only if you try really hard first, okay? You can't rely on others without first struggling yourself. Rina seemed naive, but sometimes she was really instructive. I added a really for some reason that was not in that sentence. didn't just spoil people unconditionally. Rena always seemed like an adult at these moments. If I absolutely can't do it, I'll call you. Though the chances are extremely high. Go for it! Yay! You were grandstanding so much to Satoko-chan that you have to try your best. Hey, about Satoko. How good is she at cooking? Oh, she's at least better than you. That was so direct. It hit me pretty hard. Like, damn. We're making fun of her a lot, too. Maybe you should have to struggle a little, huh? Rena, you're pretty mean. Rena isn't all cute, now that I've provoked Satoko that much, I couldn't just make some crummy bento. I can't believe how loose-lipped I am. Okay, bye. Good luck on the cooking. Show everyone that you can do it if you really try. Yeah. I waved my hand absently in response. Leaving me with words of encouragement and a few pieces of super beginner advice, Rena disappeared past the trees. When they cry. And scene. How ominous. I love that, actually. Fine, I'm desperate, so what? I may not know the ABCs of navigation, and I have neither a sea chart nor a compass, but still, what idiot is taking on the ocean of the great cooking age alone? And his name is Keiichi Maebara. Oh, listen to this. Let's go. Oh my god, hello, Zplax Agog non-Zeep with a rate of 8. Holy crap, hi. You can't see, I'm waving. I'm waving to all of you. Hi. Now let's go. Time to cook. My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. It's going pretty good. We're just reading some Higurashi, getting hyped up for the new anime starting in a couple days, and yeah, that's pretty much it. How are you doing? However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone. Cooking was probably the top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I want something to help me. I made up my mind and fished through kitchen cabinets. I was on the hunt for a cookbook. My mom should have a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Oh, here's one! Its worn-out, wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. Yes, and also, awesome that you're good. Yes, Higurashi is great, and, yeah. It is a classic, honestly. Like, that's, the most I can say. This is actually the, I don't know if it says it on the stream. This is the third one, but, you know, there's not really nothing to worry about as far as spoilers yet. But the first one, I'll do some shilling. I'm pretty sure the first one has been free since the lockdown started, if anybody wants to go check that out. And if not, they're super cheap anyway. And I would highly recommend it. It is a great series. I mean, I wouldn't be here reading it if it wasn't, but anyway, yeah. Let's get back to this. Torn out, wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. But, oops, I hit space instead of enter. Okay, as long as I've got this. Well, it's easier to give it a shot than think about it, right? Anyone can concoct the tastes of a gourmet chef as long as they have a cookbook. You're getting cocky, buddy. Cookbooks are great! As such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However, There we go. Whoa. It played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. You knew it all along, Keiichi Maebara. Alright, cool. Have a good dinner, and thank you. And thank you for coming. If anyone could make delicious food just by reading a book, then there would be no such job as a gourmet chef in the first place. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons? Which spoon is that? It keeps saying to use however much you like. How much exactly are you supposed to use? Stop using such obscure expressions. Strain out the water in a colander? Add salt and pepper to taste? What the heck is a colander? Strain it out like stretching? You can't stretch water droplets like me. And besides, how much salt and pepper is that supposed to be anyway? Aren't there any beginner-friendly guides in here? It won't do you any good to yell. Hold on, Keiichi Maebara. Calmly. For now, I'll leave the side dish until after. The rice is more important. I have to cook the rice. Or I can't start. I know a little about how to cook rice. I didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. Wash the rice. That should be enough water. Okay. And, which switch is it? Is it this button? Oh, the lamp turned on! Yeah, fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now please buy the rice cooker set. I pulled myself together and decided to take on the miso soup next. The miso soup I made at day camp was all the instant kind after all. Well, it would be fine if I just melted the miso into hot water, no doubt. I'll boil the water and put it into the miso. Huh? How much should I put in? Let me see here. Use the proper amount according to the number of people and your tastes. Enough with the vague expressions! Fine, I'll just put in the proper amount. I crushed the bag of miso in my fist and put half of its content into the pot. Is this really okay? Maybe this was a little too hearty? They do say miso soup is its best when it's tastes strong. But come to think of it, my mom's miso soup is a little thin. Maybe I'll like it better with this much in it. I said it aloud as if trying to convince myself. Then, convinced by my own words, I nodded to myself that this, buddy, is how you got yourself into this mess in the first place. Good going. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. But what should I make? Something I could make that would add color to the meal. That's it. Why don't I stir-fry some vegetables? Eat vegetables raw too, and they won't die from just a little bit of fire. I was so cute then, not realizing that the level of my thoughts had fallen from what would look great in a meal to what would be easy to make. There were quite a few vegetables in the refrigerator. What kind of vegetables go in a stir-fry? Bean sprouts? Cabbage? Chives? Onions? Can you put cucumbers and lettuce in? For now, I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut them into chunks, and tossed them into a wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is the true worth of men's cooking? What is the true worth of men's cooking? I don't... Okay. Hey, this is actually getting kind of fun! All of a sudden, there was a pile of vegetables in the wok. Alright, next is the salad. Oh, this sounds not good. Look, with the salad oil. It'd be more exciting if I... Oh, Keiichi, no, don't do that. It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim. Whoops, a bit leaked out. Well, no point in worrying about something so minor. The great Keiichi Maebara's cooking is exciting! Okay, let's turn on the heat. Beep. Whoosh! Salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire, and flames reached up to the sky! Amazing! Maybe I can be an Iron Chef too! Because I'm really good at cooking with fire! Those words were spoken by delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless. And when the words came out, they sort of convinced me. Yes, yes, I am an Iron Chef. Hot. Right as the crazy pillar of flame started to burn the ceiling, I finally realized that the fabulous cooking before my eyes had culminated into an actually life-threatening disaster. Wait. What? Sorry, go back. What? Could I have been doing something insane? The force of the flame grew stronger and... Wait, what? Ah! What in the... Oh, that's not him. Ah! What in the world are you doing? You must stop the flames this instant! Kerthwack! Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of the head, and I died. The end. I turned around to see what was going on. To my surprise, I saw Satoko and Mika-chan there. Satoko? Mika-chan? As I stood in wonder at their unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Mika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, and spread it out and placed it over the pot. She continued to soak more towels and put a second on, then a third. Once a whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped. All of it had happened in a few moments. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air. Wait, what are you doing at my house? You're trespassing on private property. Yes, well, Keiji-san, you've been caught red-handed in the act of arson. It was just about to turn into a huge building fire, wasn't it? It would be very, very sad if Keiichi was homeless after this. And after pretending to be an Iron Chef, I finally began to take in the situation. So that was really about to set the house on fire? Is that not obvious? Just look at it! The ceiling is all sooty, is it not? Chimneys are the only thing that should be so sooty. Well, Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life? Oh boy. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fiery cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Mika-chan rang the doorbell. But they could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank goodness they did. If Satoko and I hadn't come, the fire engines would be going woo woo right now. Keiichi-san, do you understand now how serious this was? At some point, I had sat down on my knees as I listened obediently. I'm sorry. You two saved my life. We thought we would come and see what a fabulous dinner you made, as we thought it's a mess. At this rate, we won't even need to look at your bento. You're mean. So you and Mika-chan came all this way just to see what I'd make for dinner? Us being mean saved your house and your life. Is that not something to take to heart? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Satoko-chan! At this point, having shown them such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I'd completely surrendered. And yet you tried really hard on the curry. Where did the Keiichi-san from back then go? Jeez! I had all our underclassmen help me then and just borrowed entire pots from the other teams. I didn't really cook anything. Keiichi-san, you cheated? Jeez, you might have been doing what our club usually does, but that was terrible. Pouring salt into the other team's pot seemed far more terrible than me. But Satoko was in control right now, so I couldn't respond. I obediently hang my head to her. My headphones are gonna fall off if I'm not careful. By the way, Keiichi-san, this terrible pot. This wasn't supposed to be miso soup, was it? Satoko stared at the pot, totally full of miso, with an awful expression. So I really did get the amount wrong. Judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso anymore. Get the miso soup then! The rice should be cooked just fine. Rice cookers these days are pretty convenient, you know. Should be just about done. Meep. It's not cooked. See? The inside is still all watery. Eh? What? But I switched it on and the little light came on. Keiichi-san, the button you pushed was the timer button, okay? It's set for breakfast, so it won't turn on until tomorrow morning. Ah! Well then what? In the end, I won't have a side dish or miso soup, or even rice. I couldn't make anything myself. What a thing! It serves you right. So, have you finally realized your place? Come, admit it. Say it. I, Keiichi Miyabara, am all bark and a much crummier cook than Satoko Hojo-san. I'm a terrible person and a crummier cook than Satoko. I beg your forgiveness. I fainted in agony. What? I fainted in agony. Is that what you meant there? Okay. Mika-chan pat my head, satisfied at the sight. And Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. I've completely and totally lost. In the end, I talked big, but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'll go without dinner. Tomorrow morning, no breakfast and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it would be before my parents returned. At this rate, without a doubt, I'll starve to death! Of course, I'll have no bento tomorrow either! Wait, is Meep supposed to be Nippon? Meep! I'm sure they get the punishment here tomorrow! Meep! Chan kept on patting my head, with a smile on her face that couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko completely appalled at how unsightly I looked from Abby's side. Adult men are just so pathetic, aren't they? Come on, please move yourself out of the way. As I sobbed like a girl. It's not nice to say. Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside and dumped the remains of the miso soup into the sink tidy, then began to rinse out the pot. Don't worry about it, Satoko. I can at least clean up after my own mess. I couldn't have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I'd made a mess of, but when I tried to stop her, Rika-chan pulled on my clothes. Keiichi, you can just be silent and watch. She grinned as she said it. Be quiet and watch? What are you saying, Rika-chan? She meant just what she said. Keiichi-san, just be quiet and leave this to me. Satoko turned around and declared, seeming bothered. As if to say that amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary. What to you? Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots in the refrigerator. Hey, wait, don't mess with them too much. If you turn the place inside out, my mom might get mad at me later. Would you just be quiet already? You aren't supposed to enter the kitchen. Mika! Aye, sir! Satoko snapped her fingers and Rika-chan got on her tiptoes, grabbed me by the back of my neck and started dragging me away. Leaving Satoko alone in the kitchen, Rika-chan dragged me back into the living room. Hey, Stop, Rika-chan. Let me go already. If we leave it to Satoko, the kitchen will be a disaster. Satoko came to see how she beat you today. It's her revenge. Revenge? Come to think of it, face looked kind of grim. Eventually, from the kitchen, there was the sound of a faucet being twisted and a stove dial being turned. I began to hear the nostalgic sounds that made me envision dinner time. The refrigerator opening and closing, ingredients being cut on the chopping board. What did that mean? Was Satoko? Was she cooking? Keiichi made fun of her quite a lot. Satoko wanted to show you that she could cook proper meals too. Just listening to it like this. I haven't been out and seen any sounds of blood spilling, or bursting, or explosions. At this point, at least, she had proven she was a more skillful cook than me. In the cooking showdown with Satoko Hojo versus Keiichi Mayabara, it looked like victory had already been decided. I recalled Satoko's slightly annoyed expression from before. I was making fun of Satoko too much today, wasn't I? Is she holding a grudge? We were just provoking each other with our usual back and forth. But I also think maybe I overdid it. At the very least, I shouldn't have made fun of Satoko, who could cook for herself when I'd never cooked other than for recreation before. Satoko isn't holding very much of a grudge. She came all the way to my house and pushed her way in. She's gotta be mad. I quietly took a peek into the kitchen. She definitely looked different than the usual bird-brained Satoko. Her eyes were sharp and her movements were brisk, to the point it was a little scary. Then she must have noticed me because she turned around and shot me an annoyed glare. I cringed in fear and hastily pulled my bad head back out. She's mad. She's so mad. She's totally mad. How will she take revenge on me? It's just Satoko being serious because she doesn't want to fail. She isn't angry or anything. How can you say she isn't angry? I've never seen Satoko be seen Satoko be this frightening. Eiji-san, I hear that, you know. Sorry! I jumped at Satoko's angry outburst and faced towards the kitchen. I felt exactly like a kid who had done something bad and gotten called to the teacher's lounge. Where do you keep the miso? The refrigerator is so big that I don't see any of it anywhere. I'm sorry. The miso it's on the middle shelf, in the fridge, at the back of the lower rack. What is this? You need to close the miso package after you finish with it. It's getting the inside of the refrigerator dirty, isn't it? I'm sorry. Before I can look for something to wipe it with, Satoko wiped it off with a wet dish towel. I swear, how are men so bad at cleaning up after themselves? I shudder to think that you'll become an adult like this. I couldn't talk back to Satoko today. The only thing I could do was obediently lower my head and apologize. As Satoko nitpicked and I apologized, a good smell began to fill the kitchen. This is how you prepare the miso for the soup. You scoop a little out with the ladle and break it up with chopsticks. It's important to add a little at a time and keep tasting it. Dumping the entire thing into the pot is absolutely outrageous. I'm sorry, I never paid any attention in home ec class. You're pathetic, I swear. Men! Rumble, rumble. I cowered at her annoyed-sounding muttering. But looking at her like this, she seemed quite good at cooking. She had just been overshadowed by Reina's and Rika-chan's artistic abilities. Satoko's skills were clearly enough to get passing marks. Hey, if you have time to zone out like that, then you can go set the table. Rika and I will be eating too, so 3 places. On it! I hastily took out 3 people's worth of dishes and 3 people's worth of dishes and such from the cabinets and headed to the dining room. When I returned there, I could hear laughter from a variety show on television. Rika-chan was sprawled out on the couch, watching television and relaxing. When she noticed me putting the dishes out on the table, she came scampering up. Your time is soon. Dinner today at Keiichi's house. Yeehaw! Okay, so that... Well, whatever. Rika-chan, you're in a good mood. That's a pretty big difference from Satoko. Satoko isn't in a bad mood at all. She's enjoying herself more than she has in a long time. Enjoying herself? Seriously? She's like how she was when her Nini was with her. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko look like she's having so much fun. What the heck is Nini? Is it a sound cats make? Nini means brother. Satoko's older brother. Satoko's older brother? He's named Satoshi. Haven't you heard his name before? Satoshi. Satoshi Hojo? Maybe I have, or maybe I haven't. At least he didn't go to our school. Satoshi, huh? Satoko's older brother. That's the first time I've heard of him. She had a brother, huh? I didn't know that. He does have one. Saying that, Rika-chan grinned even more brightly and went, Nipa! Again. When Satoko was with Satoshi, she always looked like she was having fun, just like this. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko enjoying herself this much. However I looked at it, she seemed to be in a bad mood. Her good friend, Rika-chan, was saying that it was actually the opposite. Is she really enjoying herself? She must be remembering the time she spent with her Nini. It's nostalgic. Nostalgic? Huh. Then, does he live apart from Satoko? Maybe Satoko's older brother Satoshi is actually a lot older than her? He must have gone off on his own and was living by himself far away. Satoko seems like she got along well with this Satoshi person. She did. The two of them got along very well. She spread her arms wide to demonstrate the width of how well they got along. According to Rika-chan, Satoko supported her docile, slightly unreliable older brother through nagging. That was their relationship. I see. That certainly applied to the current situation. We had me, unreliable, unable to cook even a single dish properly, and Satoko who redid it while scolding me. Could Satoko have been getting a glimpse of her brother, who now lived far away, through me? So she would always nitpick whatever Satoshi did, but she firmly supported him, and they got along well. Today, she was the one. She suggested we should go to Keiichi's house. She said, "There's no way the unreliable Keiichi-san could possibly make dinner. We need to go make it for him." Then, she didn't come here to get revenge or get even or anything like that. She couldn't leave you alone. Even now, Satoko is a proper little sister. I was an only child. I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. Of course, I've never had a little sister like Satoko. But I felt that in this moment, I was an older brother, obediently and helplessly being looked after by her. Without any teasing or messing around. I'm gonna give thanks for her trouble. That's what I honestly thought. Keiichi-san! Do you know where on earth the ladle is? Sorry, the ladle should be in the drawer to your right. I ran into the kitchen, got the ladle out of the drawer, and offered it to Satoko. It's all done. Have you put the bowls and things out? Yeah, everything's a-okay. Then let us have our meal. Rika! It's time for dinner! Me! Heard Rika-chan's effervescent voice coming from the dining room. Satoko turned off the gas flame on the stove and lifted up the pot of miso soup. Could you bring the rice cooker, Keiichi-san? Careful not to flip it over, alright? Right, I'll be careful. I can carry rice cookers just fine without being warned about it, probably. I thought about replying like that, but I decided not to. No mean words or witty retorts today. Rice with steam billowing from it and miso soup, as well as a handful of side dishes. On the table was a truly firm, family-oriented dinner. It wasn't weird at all or extravagant. It was a daily meal, the sort a housewife would make. It was very nonchalant and brimming with liveliness. "And let us eat!" "Itadakimasu!" At Satoko's command, Mika-chan and I both thanked her in a loud voice. "I made light of you, Satoko. You've beaten me soundly." "Oh ho ho! Do you have a better opinion of me now? I may still not be as good as Rika or Rena-san, but I can cook far better than the helpless Keiichi-san. Yeah, I know better now." After I honestly admitted my defeat, Satoko's expression finally softened and she laughed with her normally loud and cheerful voice. "Nom nom nom. Oh, the rice is cooked really well. Though she used the rice cooker, it tasted a little different from the rice my mom made. Maybe she used a different amount of water for it. Even so, I could feel Satoko's personality from the rice, which made it taste better than usual. The miso soup was a little on the thick side, but it was still delicious. Weren't you saying like 2 seconds before they got here that you liked your mom's miso was too thin for you? What you doing, man? I don't remember. Anyway, the side dishes, while not exactly flashy, tasted great as well. It was all so appetizing, and I couldn't stop eating. The side dishes are well done too. Satoko, you're not a bad cook at all." I gave my honest impression without a hint of sarcasm. Satoko seemed to have been expecting some, though, because when I praised her so honestly, she got flustered instead. "Oh, ho, ho! Your praise honors me, but it's nothing so grand. The side dishes are just things I bought at the store and heated up. This and this, all I did was open the can. I can only really make rice and miso soup myself," Satoko said, her embarrassed, her face a bit flushed. There was none of her normal verbal abuse or sarcasm in there either. "I can't make anything except rice or miso soup, but when you get ready-made side dishes and put them on the table too, it turns into something fairly splendid. My mom uses ready-made side dishes and canned goods too. It's nothing to be so embarrassed about. This is a fantastic dinner." I gave her honest praise. I've never met Sato's brother, but Satoshi would probably praise her in the same way. Well, I suppose it's enough now that you've come to realize that I can hold my own in the kitchen. Would you like seconds? There's plenty of miso soup still left." Huh? Did that brat just awkwardly change the subject? When I realized my response had been on the mark, it made me a little happy. "When we eat rice like this, it's fun, like we're eating with Satoshi." Mika-chan mentioned Satoko's older brother's name again. Satoko's chopsticks paused and she looked up at the ceiling. How nostalgic. I wonder what he could be doing right now. She had a faraway smile, as if yearning for a friend who had moved away. For how it looked, I got the impression she hadn't seen Satoshi in quite some time. Satoko realized I was giving her a blank stare. "Ah, I do apologize. Satoshi is my Nini." No, my older brother." "Ah, okay, I see." Nini must have been a nickname only Satoko used for him. It was funny to see her so hastily deny it. I was rather surprised with a person with such few living skills had the ability to run away. Well, I'm sure he'll pack up shop at some point and return out of the blue. So he ran away. There was another story to what Satoko had said so cheerfully. The reason for Satoshi not living with her was a little serious. Everyone had been talking about it in such an upbeat way, so I continued to talk about him. Should I not have broached the subject at all? I hastily took at Satoko's face after thinking that. But there was no trace of the gloomy expression I'd been worrying about. Well, he's not old enough to be dreaming of living on his own. Nini won't be able to do it for long anyway. He has no endurance. Satoshi may not look like it, but he's a very persevering person. He's a lot more persevering than you think. You always take Nini's side right away. You're a little too nice to him. Satoko is just too harsh on Nini. You should treat him more kindly when he comes back. Satoko and Rika-chan's views regarding Nini, aka Satoshi, were parallel to each other, but I could easily tell that both of them really liked him. They were so optimistic, too. Even though he had run away from them, it was like they were going to see him again next week. Satoko and Rika-chan both liked Satoshi even now, and waited for him, believing he would surely return. I've never met him, but I know for sure that this Satoshi person was a really good guy. I had thought Satoko would be deeply hurt by her brother running away, but she had already overcome that. She was still being the energetic little sister, always full of vim and vigor, as if to say that her brother could come back any time he liked. I thought that Satoko didn't think through anything, and just frolicked and played practical jokes every day, and that was it. But she was really... yeah. Why are you petting my head? I roughly rubbed a hand through Satoko's hair. I misunderstood you, Satoko. I didn't know you were this level-headed. Satoko seemed to think I was making fun of her and tried to bat away my hand. But then she saw that there wasn't even a trace of malice on my face and obediently granted me her head. Yep, Satoko's level-headed. She sure is. I've been level-headed from the start. I was just playing pranks on you because you always do it to me. That was her usual provocation, but I had decided not to buy into it today. You're right. You were just doing it to go along with me, but you really were so level-headed. Good for you. Is that actually a compliment? It kinda seems like you're making fun of me. I'm not trying to make fun of you at all. I'm seriously complimenting you. If I was making fun of you, Rika-chan would be petting your head too. That's right, isn't it? When Rika makes fun of people, she usually pets their head. Beep! These canned sardines are delicious! Rika went beep-ha, and her smile became even brighter. Her attitude is clear as day, but it was annoyingly cute, so both Satoko and I suddenly burst into laughter. That laughter lightened up the table. The table itself is so dull and simple that I never even thought people could be laughing like this around it. And then, I finally came to realize something really obvious. Dinner is better while you're laughing while eating, huh? Of course it is. Laughing makes it taste better. How rude! The food is good because I'm a good cook, obviously. Ha 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 ha! This harmonious moment, this happy circle, it was completely different than spending time with family, but still somehow nostalgic. Satoko, do you want to see Nini? I didn't say Nini! Call him my brother, please! Hey, wait, you've been saying Nini this, Nini that this whole time. I grinned wryly and decided to just call him brother like she told me to. Satoko, do you want to see your brother? Rika-chan stopped eating and then looked back and forth between my face and Satoko's. Satoko was smiling. She looked like she was trying to choose her words. Just from that, Satoko conveyed her feelings. Honestly, she wished he would come home right now. But she wasn't that weak. Satoshi should just go and do what he wanted until he was satisfied. In return, she'd let him have the scolding of his lifetime. And then she'd have dinner with him and lay out his futon for him. Well, of course I want to see him again. It's been almost a year. It's been that long already. Rika-chan smiled thinly, her eyes appearing to look far away. Well, Nini can do what he wants. It would lighten my load if he came back with more muscles and knowing how to do housework, of course. See? You said Nini again. You said it. I did not. I would never call Nini. Things rapidly returned to the usual, lively atmosphere of lunchtime at school. But nothing changed about Satoko's feeling towards her brother. She was living so bravely and so strongly. Hey, Satoshi? Your sister is trying so hard to watch the place while you're gone, isn't she? Give it a rest and come back soon, got it? Satoko, it's time to clean up or else we will get sleepy. It was when we were all watching TV while enjoying some tea after dinner. Rika-chan let out a big yawn and then spoke. Satoko and I both looked at the clock and noticed how late it had gotten. Oh, perhaps we both realized it already. We just didn't want this warm moment to end. Maybe we didn't want to say anything. Oh, this will not do. I still haven't washed the dishes yet. Don't worry about it. I can do that much, at least. You made a great dinner, so I can't let you do the dishes, too. Are you sure you'll be alright? When people who are not used to it try and wash them, the soap could make the dishes slip out of their hands, you know. Jeez, she's turned into a perfect nagging little sister. It was charming and awkward. Emotions like that were mixed up inside of me. I gave her a vague, dry smile. Keiichi can at least wash dishes. If you break one and hurt yourself, I'll give you pettings at school tomorrow. Rika-chan yawned again, so wide you could see her molars. Is it really alright? Keiichi-san is pretty unreliable despite how he looks. Give me a break. Looks like Keiichi's approval ratings have plummeted in Satoko's mind. Don't worry. I'll clean those dishes up no problem. So don't worry about it and go home. Actually, at this hour, I can't let you two go home by yourselves. I'll take you there. Let me find the key for my bike. Once you've taken us home, Keiichi-san will be the one going home by himself. You'll be in big trouble if you get lost on the roads at night and end up in Takatsudo. There's no houses or lights out there at all. I was trying to worry about them going home, but I didn't think they'd be worried about me getting lost. Am I really that unreliable? It really is being critical, but yeah, this feeling I have, it's not bad. So I ended up not needing to escort them. I saw off Satoko and Rika-chan to the gate. Thanks a lot for today. Thanks to you, I got a good cultural dinner. If Satoko hadn't come, Keiichi would be growling and yowling right now. Truly, it's really good that we came. They really saved me. I gave them another bow, filled with gratitude. Oh, yes, I put the rice and side dishes into a container, so use that for your bento tomorrow, and for breakfast you can eat some bread and jam. Strawberry jam and peanut butter were in your refrigerator on the middle shelf to the right. Cocoa powder, too, was in the upper right door of the cupboard. I know all that, you don't have to go into detail. I was about to say that, but I decided to humbly listen to her. It was then that I finally realized that Satoko, who had appeared to be in a bad mood, was in fact in a great one, just like Rika-chan had said. And that though she nagged a lot, she was very kind. Then, good night. Make sure to brush your teeth before you go to bed. You have to do it for at least 5 minutes. I got it, Satoko. I'll brush my teeth and make breakfast for tomorrow. I'll be sure not to forget the bento. What the fuck? Are those seagulls in the background? If there was, that was crazy. Anyway. You need to wake up earlier than usual, or you won't be able to get your breakfast or bento ready. Got it? If you'd like, I can give you a call a little earlier to wake you up instead of using your alarm clock. You don't have to go that far. I'll set my alarm clock to wake me up a little early. Thanks for being so concerned about me. Satoko looked like she had more fault-finding to do, but she stopped, and leaving me with a good night, got on her bike and disappeared down the nighttime road. Rika-chan went to do the same, but then remembered something and came back. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Did you forget something? Keiichi, you get 100 points for today. Clap, clap, clap. Rika-chan suddenly complimented me, and she clapped her small hands. What was she on about? Like, I didn't do anything worthy of praise, did I? I nearly burned down the house, after all. Satoko probably felt like her Nini had come home. I think she was having a lot of fun. Once in a while, I want you to go along with Satoko's scolding in the future. Are you telling me to be like an older brother that she can scold instead of Satoshi? Rika-chan didn't say anything. She just smiled and went off. Yeehaw! This Satoshi person. He has such a great little sister, so what was he unhappy about? If I were Satoshi, I would never have run away from home. Satoshi had his own circumstances, I'm sure. I didn't know what he was unhappy with, but whatever the reason was, it was no excuse for abandoning Satoko. I hope he comes back soon. I probably can't play the role of her actual Nini forever, you know? It's okay. You were just like Satoshi today. Please do it again sometime. That's what would make Satoko happy. I'd take on this easy role whenever I needed to. Mika! Satoko stopped her bike under a distant spirit. I gotta take a drink real quick. I have not stopped talking for an hour and a half, so one moment. Okay, that's a little better. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, where was I? Satoko stopped her bike under a distant exterior light and called out to her friend who wasn't coming no matter how long she waited. Okay, I have to go. Good night. Yeah, night. I can't replace Satoshi, but Keiichi could do it. That's one less piece of baggage I can That's one less piece of baggage I need to shoulder. That seems kind of... That's deep for... Anyway. Leaving you with that, Rika-chan sped off on her bike. She rode up next to Satoko, and then the two of them disappeared in the blink of an eye. Satoshi. Seriously, come back soon, got it? You come home really late, I'll punch you right in the nose. Let's try our best until that day comes, Satoko. Even if I could no longer hear the sounds of their bicycles. I stood there for a while, seeing them off. You have received new tips. Satoko's trap course, elementary. Alright, let's view tips. I mean, I think that's the only one we have so far, right? Yep. Alright, then we'll go to Satoko's trap course, elementary. I know one thing for sure. Satoko could fend off an entire army division by holing up in this mountain. I know all about it. Satoko was... I'm sorry, I got taken off guard by that sentence. Satoko was one of the Soviet military advisors that gave training on traps to that one country. Stop saying weird things. Somebody help me. How did it come to this? What traps did we fall for, and how did we fall for them? Mion was caught in a profusely thin pitfall she couldn't escape from, and only her head was poking above the ground. Rena's head was completely covered by a tin bucket. She was squirming around in a vain attempt to remove it. Neither of these were really funny. Either of these really were funny, but that's where it ended. At least they had their feet on the ground. Kid-chan, what about you? Think you can get out of that? Hurry up and get out so you can save this old man! You're the one who should be breaking out and saving me, Mion! What do you expect me to do with this freaking bamboo mat? I was wrapped up in a bamboo mat and hanging 2 meters above the ground. Oh my, sorry about that. What was this trap and how did I fall into it? Huh? It was Satoko! This all started when they suggested that I was unfamiliar with nature, having grown up in the city, and proposed a little exploration on the mountain. But Rena doesn't really know how it is back there either. Rena might get lost. Oh! Mountain out back, huh? Played there a lot when I was little, but I haven't gone there for years. You get lost out there, things can get pretty dangerous. You can leave the mountain to us. The whole thing is our playground. Isn't that right, Rita? Mew. Oh, I see. How reassuring. We'll defer to you two this time and have you be our tour guides. Wait, Gage-kun. The summer vacation guidebook says not to play on the mountain because you'll get lost. It isn't summer vacation yet, so it's alright. We know the path, so there's no need to worry. The mountain has always been our playground. Our backyard. We know all the secret paths and shortcuts. Yes, both Satoko and Rika-chan knew the path like the back of their hands. Thanks to them, we had our fill of fresh air, gorgeous views, and Mother Nature, the likes of which you could never see in the village. But things got strange partway through. Oh, yes. Everyone, I have something to say. From here on, you must follow exactly where I go. Huh? What are you talking about all of a sudden? It would be safer to do as Satoko says. Oh my! Hey, Mi-chan, look at this! What is it? Should I pull it? Should I? Suddenly. Squeak! Crash! That could have gone badly when Rena pulled the kite string. A bundle of bamboo spears fastened to a tree branch all came raining down with a clatter right next to where Rena was standing. What? What is this? What? Ah! That brings back memories. Satoko made this trap in the second semester of 2nd grade. That was a close one. The tips of the spears are covered in dog poop, so if one of them hurts you, that wound will start to fester. Oh my god! When did this turn into freaking Vietnam? According to Satoko and Rika-chan. Earlier in elementary school, Satoko had been on a trap-making craze and set them up along every inch of this mountain. Hey, Chikun. Maybe they didn't tell us not to go on the mountain because we'd get lost, but because it was dangerous? Ian and I both nodded wholeheartedly at Reina's hypothesis. Come now! We are hurrying on ahead. If we do not return soon, it will get dark. If it gets dark, it may even become more dangerous for me. It may even become dangerous for me. But you're the one who brought us to this crazy mountain! I was an average, healthy Japanese boy like me being forced to deal with life-threatening booby traps. And then, the very moment Satoko and Rika-chan got just out of sight was when the three of us all got caught in nice little traps together. Someone get me out! I have to go to the bathroom! Never mind that! Someone get the bucket off me! I can't see in front of me! Oh! Hey, Rena, don't struggle around so much. I can see your panties. Oh! You saw? You saw? Gage-kun, you saw! Oh! Smash, crash, smash, 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 crash, smash! Of course you can see them! You may be in a bucket, but definitely... Bucket Rena was using me as a sandbag and Leon was crying. Can't can't get out of that pitfall? How sad, how sad. Jeez, didn't I already tell you all? You weren't supposed to leave my side. I finally had an epiphany. Satoko had been so bent on taking everyone out to the mountain because she wanted to brag about all the traps she'd set up here over the years. She could have stopped at just showing them to us. I didn't need to experience how I felt firsthand. Mika-chan pets our three heads in sequence in an incredibly satisfied mood. Okay, that was that. That was fun. Yes, okay, we have no other tips. I guess we better save. And continue!